What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again from the depths of my basement once again. Don't mind the hair. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. So preseason game 4 versus the Detroit Red Wings at 7:30 p.m. on October 3rd. Notable names in the house. You had Andrew Vaughn, who was on the White Sox, and Ozzie Guillen, who was the manager of the White Sox when they won the World Series back in 2005. Good game for the Hawks. They win 4-2 against essentially an AHL team plus a few people. Shots were 34-19 Chicago. Hits were 14-13 Chicago. Faceoffs 28-16 Detroit. Power plays, Chicago's finally gets going, 2 for 4. Detroit's goes 0 for 3. Husso saves 13 out of 14, and then Hutchinson saves 17 out of 19. Mrazek would save 17 out of 19. Players, let's go through the lines. First line, you had Hall, Bedard, and Tyler Johnson. Second line, you had Radish, Reichel, and Doc. Third line, you had Foligno, Dickinson, and Perry. Fourth line, you had Kachuk, Gutman, and Entwistle. I honestly think that is pretty close to what the final lineup is going to be. Only the other thing I might switch is that instead of Colton Doc, Athanasiou is probably going to be in there instead. On the defensive side, you had Alex Vlasic and Seth Jones, Kevin Korchinski and Connor Murphy, and then Isaac Phillips and Wyatt Kaiser. In net, you had Peter Mrazek, and Jackson Stauber was backing him up in case. Well, let's go to the first period. Tyler Johnson has a miss on a wide-open net, but then at 17:51, it's a Chicago tap-in goal. Corey Perry was his first of the preseason. If you told me Corey Perry was going to score a goal with the Blackhawks, I would have told you were out of your mind 10 years ago. From Dickinson and Foligno, which makes it 1-0. Husso robbed Dickinson. It was on the rebound that Perry was able to get it in. Kachuk went hard into the boards from Hall. He was lucky he got up. It was very similar to the Savoie injury, but Kachuk luckily landed better. Berggren had a big hit on Gutman. Hall to Johnson is saved, and then Bedard was poked off the puck. 10:03 Detroit penalty to Wallander for holding, which would be killed. 3:01 Chicago penalty to Tyler Johnson, which would be killed. And then Mrazek had a huge save on Anisimov. Yes, the Artem Anisimov, former Blackhawk. Really good when he was here. Second period, 19 minutes, Detroit comes out and they score. It's a one-timer goal from Joe Veleno. First of the preseason from Berggren and Sherratt to make it 1-1. Murphy and Berggren collide, and then at 18:44, it's a Chicago penalty to Murphy for tripping, which would be killed. Hutchinson is in for the second half of the period. Shorthanded 2-0, and Entwistle breaks his own ankles. I don't know how he did it, but he did. Clearly a miscommunication there. Then at 4:30, it's a Chicago goal. Connor Murphy, after coming out of the box, he scores one 14 minutes later. Shoots one past Hutchinson from Bedard and Taylor Hall, and 2-1 Hawks. Bedard then has a break saved. 46 seconds to go, or Detroit penalty to Hall for high sticking, which would be killed. That's where Bedard had the break. They had some great passing on that power play. Reichel shoots wide. Oh, that was at 3:46, not 46 seconds. Entwistle hits the post, but that would be killed off. And we go to the third. We're 15:11, and once again it's Joe Veleno with the Detroit goal. His second of the preseason and second of the game from Costin and Justin Hull to make it 2-2. Hull to Murphy is saved, and that proceeds to get scrummy. 11:24, it's a Detroit penalty to Veleno for cross-checking, which would not be killed, because at 10:01, it's a Chicago wrap power play goal. Corey Perry gets a second of the game, second of the preseason as well, from Taylor Hall and Connor Bedard. 2 assists for both of those gentlemen, and 2 goals for Corey Perry. That makes it 3-2. There's a huge amount of boos at the call at 6:18. It's Chicago penalty to Bedard for tripping, which would be killed. But that penalty, Taylor Hall was arguing the call. Bedard just kind of smirched, and the crowd was letting the referees have it. Essentially, do not touch our star. We don't care what he does. Kachuk shorthanded is denied. Then at 3:50, it's a Chicago and Detroit penalty, coincidental penalties. It's Foligno and Costin both for roughing, so it would be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. What happened there was Anisimov kind of started a scrum for no reason. He tried to get at Phillips, and then Foligno came right to Phillips' defense, and then Costin came in, and it just kind of escalated from there. Detroit pulls the goalie at 3:45 shorthanded, and then they call a timeout at 2 minutes. The Hawks can't score on an open net. I wrote it down at this point because they had taken about 5 shots and missed every single one. 1:38, then it's a Detroit penalty to Perron for slashing. and it was a stupid call. I'm going to be honest. That should not have been a penalty on Perron. Entwistle had a loose grip on his stick. He even slashed him. He slashed the stick out of his hands. If you during like this kind of a slash, I can understand. But he just knocked it right out of his hand. Clearly a loose grip. I agree. I don't agree with the referees. Perron should not have been penalized for that. 109. It's a Chicago empty net goal. However, it's the big one. Connor Bedard, his first of the preseason from Mrazek and Hall. Mrazek getting an assist in the preseason. Taylor Hall with 3 assists. And Bedard looked not happy whatsoever. He looked kind of furious that he scored that goal. I assume he predicted his first preseason goal having a little bit more flash, more pizzazz to it. But you know what? Take him the way you can get him. It's hopefully going to be one of many he's going to score. The Hawks fans at the end of the game began chanting either. I couldn't tell. It was either "We want the cup," which is a bit of an excess chant, or "Detroit sucks," which Detroit sucks has been around for over 50 years, so nothing new there. But that's going to be all I have for you guys in this one. Preseason game tomorrow, I believe, is in Chicago against Minnesota. Not sure what that's going to be, but we'll see. We shall see, and then the video should be uploaded on Friday. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Again, don't mind the hair. Goodbye.